Good morning. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone? It's Friday. All right, I'm gonna get started. It's an easy peasy day today. We're gonna do the fishbone stitch for these leaves here. Now, I see this one. We might not do that one only because it's so smushed in there underneath this flower, but if you would like to do it, then go ahead and do it. So we'll do maybe 2 on this one, maybe 1. We'll do 2 on this one, and I think just 1 on this one, unless you would like to add 1 over there, and then we can stitch over top of it, some layering, stuff like that. So thank goodness it's Friday. Well, David is going on his golf trip this weekend, and I'm going to paint the house. So I don't know if it's going to be a good Friday or not. We'll see. We'll see how the color turns out. I'll talk more about that later. So what I'm going to do really quickly is on this spare hoop, just show you a little diagram of what I'm going to do, because this right here is quite small. And so I don't want to do all of the drawing all over it. And then you'd be like, there's too many lines. I can't see it. I don't understand. So I'm just going to do a bigger one here. I'm not going to stitch it. I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do it. So it's like this. Okay, and I'll zoom into that as well if you want. And what we're going to do is create a line of overlapping. It'd be helpful if this pen would have worked. Of overlapping stitches by doing 1 on the left and 1 on the right, and they're all going to cross in the middle. Why is this pen not working? So it's going to make a crisscross right in the middle. So what we're going to do is put a line down the middle. Now, sometimes this is enough for people. So it means that you make 1 stitch down the front here, and then every stitch, well, I like to do 3 in the top. So 1 right next to it, the same hole, 1 right next to it, the same hole. And then every one after this, it's going to go across that line. Okay, so the next stitch can go anywhere across this line. And then this next stitch here will go the other way across this line. So what we're looking for here is these threads here to overlap. Okay. Now, what some people like to do, and what I've found worked for me when I was first learning how to do these, is to take your leaf like this. Yeah, make a line down the middle, but then also do 1 line on either side of it. And that makes it so that you have your first stitch here, second and third, all through the same hole. And then every stitch after that, you're just going to put in this line. So you're going to go across to that line, across to that line. And this makes it so that you know where your stitches are going to go, and you know how far to go as well, so that you're just filling up this stitch. Now, some people don't do these lines. Some people go all the way to the other side, and it makes it like a little bit padded because you're going all the way over every time. You're also using a lot of thread. So if you've not got a lot of thread left, keep an eye on that. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Hi, George. So I'm going to get started. This is the fishbone stitch. It almost looks like a fishbone. Because it's such a small leaf, I would suggest doing like 3 or 4 strands and maybe not 6, only because you're going to have like 3 crossovers really by the time we get down there. So let me separate my strands really quickly. Yeah, George, it's a happy weekend for you. What about me? Yeah, I'll do 4, just so that it's it's the same as the stem, and it's a little bit thicker. He just did that kissy heart face emoji. I'm not here for it. Gonna have to quarantine David in his room for 2 weeks when he gets back. Okay, so I've settled on 4 strands, and I'm gonna get a thinner, the 0.5 in blue, so that I can show you these without, hopefully, without confusing you, because it's such a small space there. I don't want to get too, you know, too jumbled. So here we go. I like to do 3 or 5 stitches in the very tip, just so that you can fill that up without going straight into the crossing. This first stitch, however far down you put this, you're only going to have the fishbone from the point where you put it to the bottom. So if you put a really short one, then you'll have the fishbone stitch all down the middle. If you put a really long one, then you're only going to have the fishbone stitch from the very, just at the very bottom down here. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to do a sensible one, not too short, not too long. And like I said, I like to fill up this tip with just going through the same hole with 2 additional stitches. Obviously, you can start crossing now if you want to. This is just a personal preference that I like to have the tip filled in, because sometimes you can get gaps up there, and it doesn't really go well for me. So this is where you're going to start crossing, and you want to try and keep the same angle that you've got already. So you really don't want to have it go straight over like this. Yeah, because then you'll cover up some of the other ones, but you also don't want it to go straight down like this, because you're actually going to miss some space in your leaf, and you'll have some white bits in the middle. So we're going to do, again, a sensible little cross here. And we're going to try and keep the same angle every time. Oops. Actually, let me just turn this so that it's not an angle for you. It's like right down the middle. That'll be easier. Okay, so then this one. Oh my goodness, Lord. Lord help me. Lord help me today. We'll go straight across. And notice that these 2 stitches are almost even as well. So now we've done the right side. We'll go back to the left. And again, you want that same angle. So it's almost like satin stitch, where you want them to be parallel to each other, and you want to make sure that they're not, you know, one like crazy down here and then one like crazy up here. You want to try and keep them just right in line with each other. You're just crisscrossing these stitches. And then you'll just continue all the way down. This is another one where it's like, find what works for you and just do that. Because sometimes if you already know how to do it a certain way and then that works for you, then fine. You know, you don't what's it? Change a broken wheel or something like that. Don't try and reinvent. Don't change what's not broken. I don't know. Whatever. You guys get it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There you go. There's one. Now I'm using 4 strands, so it's a little bit, the line is a little bit thinner than regular. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what it is. I got there in the end, didn't I? Oh, it's been a long week, guys. But I have so many kits going out today. I'm so excited for you. They're all going to get put in the mail. There's videos for each one as well for the Christmas ornament hoops. I'm excited for that, for you guys to watch them. They're in the pattern already, so all you have to do is go to the pattern, and then copy paste the link. It's a special link, so it's not available for everybody. It's only available for the people who've bought the kit. So exclusive. So that'll be fun. And then, yeah, and then any just regular kits are also being sent out today. So any kind of like Weeds to Wildflower kits or Keep Going or anything like that, those ones will also be sent out. So that's exciting. Okay, so we're almost to the bottom, real quick. I like to keep going until you've filled in all the space. So for mine, I'm only going to do probably 2 more. But for yours, you might have to add a little bit on the bottom. So I've got 1 there. And 1 there. And these don't have to cross over at the bottom, because sometimes you're just filling in the space. Because don't forget, once we take the hairdryer to this, all of these black lines are going to be gone. So anything that you didn't fill in with thread will disappear. So if you finished with your fishbone stitch and you still have a black line there and you really want to fill that in, then fill it in, because once you hair dry it, it's going to be completely gone. And then we just move on to the next one. And for consistency, I like to keep the same stitch at the very tip, just so they all kind of look the same. If you want to practice with like a really long one or a really short one and see which one you like better, do that on a practice hoop, because sometimes they can look a little bit, what's the word? Just like inconsistent and a little bit like hodgepodge if you've got like one that looks like this and one that looks like that. Then at the same time, no 2 flowers are the same. So keep that in mind too. Yeah, so David's gone this weekend. And whenever David leaves, that's normally when I do some kind of project around the house. So I'm going to paint our bedroom. I'm going bold with a super dark blue. And I'm going to paint the bedroom 3/4 of the way up, or 2/3 of the way up. I think 2/3 probably. And then I'm going to do white on the ceiling and the rest of the 1/3 of the way up. So it's going to be like a 2-tone moment. I hope it looks good. We've got like wood furniture in there. Like it's all pretty much wood. I'm going to paint over the closet doors and everything so they like blend in with the door, like with the door and the wall and everything. Now, obviously these leaves do take longer to do than if you were just to do satin stitch and do like, bam, 7 stitches, you're done. But with satin stitch, you have more of a smooth texture like this, where these give you that added like something, you know? So I wouldn't normally put these right here, like loads of them everywhere. I would save them for like a nice texture moment. Ooh. So we'll see. Hannah just said, oh, I bet that's going to look so pretty. I do hope so. It's not a big room, so it could go either way, really. It could make it feel really small, or it could, you know, like, or it could be really cozy. I don't know. But I was thinking of either doing it in the living room or the bedroom. And I thought, you know what, let's do the bedroom, because it's already like a smaller space and all we do is sleep in there. So if we hate it, we'll be sleeping most of the time anyways. You know, so there. And like, just David hates painting. He hates any kind of that kind of stuff. So it's something for me to do whilst he's gone. And then obviously, like, we're in lockdown here, so we are they've like split their golf team up into groups and they like can't mingle with their group or anything else like outside of their group. I don't know. I don't even know why they're going. Because it's not going to be, hi Jamie T. It's not going to be like normal, you know? I think there's like 14 of them all together, but they've split into like groups of 4. So they've got like 4 people for golf, and then the same 4 people have to eat dinner together, and then the same 4 people like are all staying together, like 2 people to a room, but they're like next to each other, so they all have to stay in the same bubble. It's ridiculous. But they didn't get a refund, so there you go. So yeah, it's my weekend to paint. I think it'll be fun. So this is what I mean about filling in that space. So obviously on this side I can't do anymore. This side I can't do anymore. But this side there's lots of space left. So if I just blow dried that, then the bottom would be gone and you'd just be left with that. So you have to kind of see, like, are you happy with the shape of it, or do you need to add a couple more stitches down there just to make it, you know, how you want it to be as far as like shape wise. I didn't go up all the way with that one, so I'm just going to add another one in here like that. That's better. Yeah. Now this one, you can choose if you want to do that one or not. If you don't feel like it, then don't do it. If it's a little bit too difficult to like squeeze all your stitches in there, I will attempt. Just because I'm here already and probably would be better if I put it in the middle so that you guys could actually see what I'm doing. Lord help me. I think that looks all right. But again, if you don't want to do it, then you don't have to. Because I do know that it's a little bit squished in there, you know. I'm also getting some cakes delivered today from Lil's Parlor. So if you are in or around Birmingham, or just the UK period, because she does do delivery. I'm getting some blondie brownies, just 2. And I'm getting a Wagonish wheel. It's like those caramel wafers. Oh, why? Caramel wafers with caramel spread up, like homemade salted caramel in the middle. And then they're like dipped in chocolate. Oh, I cannot wait. But they're arriving today sometime. So I got 1 of each for me and David. I think I'm going to share mine with the neighbors though. Or share his with the neighbors. Whoops. All right, we've just got the one left on the other side. Just over here. Oh, Jamie, you can totally get them delivered to you. Oops, that's not down the middle. Oh, they're so good though, and she makes the best blondies. Oh, they're so good. Blondies are like vanilla brownies, you know. So I used 4 strands for the other bit. Actually, on today, I almost just said on Friday. It is Friday. Today she's doing another theme box. So she does a different theme box like every month. And this theme box is State Fair treats. So I'm not really sure what's in them, but I'm excited. I might have to grab one. Okay. The stand is completely backwards right now. I just ordered a ton of chocolate from Choco Loco, so I can't justify spending more on getting treats delivered. Oh, I feel that. I know, I ordered them last week. My treats. And I was like, oh, should I order more? should I get the Seaside box? Not the Seaside box, the State Fair box. And I was like, oh man, I haven't even got the other ones yet. And I already want more. But, oh, they're so good. The other day, we took brownie mix and we put it in the waffle maker. So we made brownies, but they're shaped like waffles. That was delicious. Highly recommend. They were a little bit hard to get out of the waffle maker though, because brownies are like meant to be gooey a little bit. And they were still nice and gooey in the middle, like not uncooked, but do you know what I mean? Oh, they were so delicious. And we put ice cream on top with salted caramel sauce. Yeah, so Lil's Parlor, she's the one who I shared the Kickstarter for the other day, and she's doing a like Christmas nostalgia recipe book, and she's putting like all her like secret recipes in it. So like recipes for the Blondie brownies, recipes for her salted caramel, Sara Lee chocolate ghetto cake. Oh my God. So I really hope it gets funded because I want my recipe book. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, yes, give it to me. Everybody, please go pledge. She's going to get printed and everything. Oh, it's going to be so good. Okay, so that's it. Let me zoom out, put this down. Tie myself a knot. Obviously, you could do another one on the other side if you wanted. Of this flower here, if you wanted to, oops, almost just flung a needle. If you wanted to keep the two leaves per flower thing that we've got going on. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, just one. So if you wanted to keep that up, the 2 leaves, then you could do that. Or just leave it one. That's okay too. You could always move this over a little bit as well when we go to stitch that next week. If you didn't want to overlap it, so you could always like put it between these if you wanted to. So there we go. That's the end. That's the end of week 3. So next week we're doing the stems and little guys of these. I wanted to make those into pom-poms, but it's not working with embroidery thread, so I'm gonna think of something else, and we'll do those next week. We also have French Knot Day. We have the handle day that we still have to do, and we have details, and we have to close our hoop up. So we do still have a lot of things to do, and yeah, I'm super excited. Your hoops are looking so good. I'm blown away. Like every single time I do one of these stitch-alongs, I'm blown away. It's amazing. So y'all should be so proud of yourselves. So don't forget to tag with @theMommyFox with the line underneath so I can repost. If you are private, you're gonna have to send me a message with the picture because I can't see any of your stories if you're private. So just a reminder about that. Make sure you're hashtagging with #TheBarmyFoxSAL, and I will see you next Monday. Have a lovely weekend, guys. All right, bye.